HIPAA-compliant websites. The rules of creating a HIPAA-compliant website are far-reaching and often difficult to understand. At Atlantic.Net, as experts in the field of online HIPAA compliance, we are constantly asked by healthcare providers and clients about whether their websites, web forms, or web hosting are HIPAA compliant. When asking whether a site is HIPAA compliant, the first question should be, does my website actually need to be HIPAA compliant? If your website or computer systems handle any electronic patient data, then the answer is yes. By law, you must comply with the physical, technical, and administrative safeguards of HIPAA. According to OCR, in 2019, 14 million patients had their protected health information breached. This figure was 22 million in 2020 and is projected to be over 51 million patient records in 2021. This data shows that today's risks to patient data are greater than ever. So, how do you make your website HIPAA compliant? The easiest way is to outsource this responsibility to a hosting provider that specializes in HIPAA compliant web hosting, like Atlantic.Net. Going DIY is perfectly valid, provided you put all the steps in place to achieve HIPAA compliance. Let's take a look at a few principal considerations regarding HIPAA compliance for websites. 1. The privacy rule mandates the protections to safeguard the privacy of health information. It applies to any protected health information, encryption standards, and data retention, to name just a few ways it impacts operations. 2. The security rule is effectively an implementation of the privacy rule. The security rule creates national standards to safeguard health information in electronic form, whether an organization is producing, receiving, sending, or storing it. It requires the adoption of numerous detailed technical, physical, and administrative safeguards. 3. SSL/TLS encryption is another requirement. You must implement a secure sockets layer (SSL) encryption certificate for your website and transition from HTTP to the secure HTTPS protocol. 4. A HIPAA-compliant website platform is a must for a compliant environment. If you're collecting information through forms on your site, you will need to ensure all the data is protected per HIPAA rules to defend against unauthorized access and potential data breaches. 5. You must have signed business associate agreements if you work with any outside providers or businesses on any aspect of your site that involves the handling of EPHI. For example, your website designer will be an associate, but they may in turn have subcontractor business associates who independently perform services for them. For organizations that handle EPHI, find a hosting solution that is as dedicated to following the privacy rule and security rule as you are, and that has technical, administrative, and physical safeguards installed that prove its commitment. Here are some suggestions for HIPAA-compliant web hosting. Your web host should be audited based on the insights of the American Institute for Certified Public Accountants, AICPA. This third-party auditor will ensure that your hosting company is performing all tasks that they say they are. This way, you don't stake your company's compliance status on the word of another company, but also on an independent third-party auditor. Have daily on-site and off-site backups for business continuity and disaster recovery capabilities. Use managed multi-factor authentication for both your VPN access and access to any server or application. Use tools like firewalls, anti-malware, and intrusion prevention to ensure security controls. Employ a managed firewall and intrusion prevention service that includes a powerful security response, routine device health checks, log monitoring, and control of network ingress and egress points, amongst other features. Learn more about Atlantic.Net's HIPAA-compliant hosting solutions and how to make your website HIPAA-compliant at Atlantic.Net.